This blog topic is another one that I have addressed before, but I think it's probably going to be even more relevant in the sort of, I guess, the world of COVID and the world of trying to sort of recover as an economy. And that is the issue about how you best interview with somebody who is potentially less experienced than you are. So what I'm talking about here is a situation where a job seeker, an applicant, a candidate has applied for a job, has started the interview process, and is now, whether it's in a virtual video sense or whether it's face to face, sitting down, interviewing with someone who's obviously at the company, who has the sort of the power to make that decision, and that person you discover either visually or because you've done your research on who they are and what they're all about. You can tell that this person has probably less experience than you do. And how do you handle that dynamic? Now, the first thing to stress is that whilst it's very tempting, of course, to look at this very much from your point of view, are you okay with that as a candidate, as an applicant? And perhaps you are, not least because you sort of need to be. But it's very important that you put yourself in the shoes of the interviewer. You have to think about what he or she will be focused on, what they will be potentially worrying about, in order to best frame your explanation and your approach. And I think the most important thing you can do is to try and get away from this very sort of generic sense of more experience and less experience. If you focus on this particular job with this company in this sector, the probability is that actually this person will have more experience than you do. Yes, you may have more wider experience, maybe in that wider market sector, or obviously just life experience, which is obviously kind of code for age. But working in this particular job with this product or this solution in this market sector, dealing with these scenarios, presumably the other person, the interviewer, must have more experience of that than you. And that's what you must tap into. Keep reminding them, keep reinforcing the notion that you recognize actually you've got a lot to learn from them. And better still, that you're genuinely enthusiastic and excited about that possibility, rather than for the interviewer that having that nagging doubt that, oh, this guy Mark's good, but he is probably a bit more experienced than we normally hire, and B, he's maybe more experienced than I am. How do I feel about that? Is he going to be one of these sort of unmanageable characters who keeps thinking that he knows best and this is not how I would do it, and all of that whirlwind of doubt and fear will be in the interviewer's mind. You as the interviewee, the candidate, the applicant, you have to be very clear that yes, of course you need to be happy and comfortable yourself, but assuming that you're there because that's already known, you have already decided that you're comfortable. You've got to make sure that he or she is comfortable. Be very, very alive to what they'll be thinking, what they will be concerning themselves around, the doubts and the worries that they have. You've got to address those, or I'm afraid they will probably just decide, bit too risky, let's just hire someone that's, in their eyes, conventional, which is bound to mean less experienced than they are. So if you're addressing this situation, there's no point putting your head in the sand about it. You have to be very, very honest with yourself, and to some extent you'll need to be honest with them. You'll need to make them feel that this is not going to go wrong because of some kind of hierarchy dispute that will always be niggling away. So give it lots of thought, put yourself in their shoes, construct your case accordingly, and you have a much better chance of getting that outcome that you're after. Good luck.